Hello everyone. How is everyone doing? Forgive Alu for making a lot of noise. It's her. Now she's inside and screaming because that's what she does. Yeah, hello, hi. In case you are watching this channel for the first time, hello, I'm Meghnad. I got a ton of new subscribers, so I'm guessing a lot of you will be here not really having any context of who I am. I don't know. Maybe you saw like my recent two videos and you were like, ये कौन आदमी है? इसको follow करके देखते हैं. ये क्या तहलका मचाता है? And yeah, so here I am. This is a more of a interactive session. I wanted to sort of thank all of you for watching my last two videos because they were long, yes, and I think they were a little experimental. So thank you so much for giving such a great response. I did not expect this. मैंने सोचा 5-10 हज़ार लोग देखेंगे उसमें क्या है. But yeah, here we are. Lots of people saw it. Lots of people commented. So I'm going to respond to some of those comments and also the live chat here. So hello, welcome to this really casual session of live stream. Other than that, a lot of you have been asking me to also talk about Parliament, so we can. I have been following Parliament, although I'm not talking about it as much. But it is an obsession, as you know, as the people who followed my work know. So if you have any sort of questions about Parliament, I would be happy to also talk about that. So we can do all of that. Yes. Thank you so much. Let me just see what are the comments. So Shoaib is here. Hello, Shoaib. Why do you think Mr. Modi is not speaking for Manipur? Would it affect him for election? Yes, I mean, from the looks of it, yes, it will affect him politically because so if you would have seen like in the last 9 years, the Prime Minister Narendra Modi never really talks about anything negative that is happening in his, you know, tenure. He always skirts it. Plus, he takes no questions. He doesn't feel like he doesn't need to respond to anyone also. So yeah, so he thinks that Manipur is just happening and he will just casually ignore it, and that is what he's doing. Uh, Politically, I don't know what effect it will have. Uh, I think bad, yes, bad because like a lot of people are pissed off and a lot of people are wondering why he isn't doing anything or talking about it. And only when a video comes out of that ghastly incident is when he decides to use 36 seconds outside parliament to talk about it and say that he's very pained and he thinks, but he immediately then also brings in Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan में भी महिलाओं पे अत्याचार हो रहे हैं. It's just a little problematic, not a little, very problematic. So yeah, it's important to call that out, I feel like. Uh, Broto. Broto. Hello, Broto. I like the no confidence motion speeches by Supriya Sule and Gaurav Gogoi, but I didn't have the patience to listen to Rahul Gandhi's speech. He's slow to get to the point. Could you do what I didn't? If yes, how was it? What are your thoughts on the speech, given that you once worked along one parliamentarian and in context of Rahul Gandhi's fame? Yeah, I saw his speech, and I agree he does take some time getting to his point. Um, did you, if you did watch Sunset TV today, did you notice how the camera angles were working? Uh, that I've been pointing this out for years, okay, and I'm so glad people are now noticing this. That when the opposition is speaking, or someone from the opposition, and they say something which the government doesn't agree with, or is a direct attack on the government or anything, they just switch cameras and then show something else, which is like either the speaker's face or some other part of the parliament, etc. That has been happening like crazy now. It's just like you will see like when Rahul Gandhi is speaking, like they just keep cutting to the speaker's face. But when you see like a speech by Amit Shah or Smriti Irani or even anybody from the BJP, that doesn't happen to them. They just let them. It's just like, हाँ ठीक है, focus करो. So about the speech though, I saw it. And he basically started by saying that I'm not going to talk about Adani today, to which the BJP went nuts. And then he spoke a lot about Manipur, which is, I think, a good idea right now. Like, he spoke a lot about Manipur. He spoke about his visits and some instances. He gave some instances of how women came up to him and told him what happened to them. Um, there was this one where he said that like a woman lost her only son, and she came to him and essentially was telling him what happened. Then another woman who was trying to tell him what happened but collapsed in front of him. So he was giving these examples. And then he made this comment. So I was not on Twitter all day, I was doing some other work. And it was like my mentions very randomly exploded. I was like, "Kya ho gaya?" And then suddenly he had said this one sentence कि रावण बस दो ही लोगों की सुनता था, एक थे मेघनाद और एक थे कुंभकर्ण, और मोदी जी भी दो ही लोगों के सुनते हैं, एक है अडानी और एक है अमित शाह. सो ऑफ कोर्स मेघनाथ का मेंशन आ गया तो हा 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 तेरे बारे में बात कर, the usual. But yeah, he said that, and plus he said that मणिपुर में भारत की मौत हो रही है. Very dramatic. Um, but decentish attack. But you know what the BJP is focusing on though? I was okay. So right after Rahul Gandhi's speech, Smriti Irani spoke. Right? Smriti Irani obviously like a counter क्योंकि स्मृति ईरानी ने राहुल गांधी को हराया है. So yes, उसको बोलना चाहिए. So Smriti Irani obviously like mentioned Manipur and said that, oh no, Manipur is a part of India, उसमें कोई विभाजन नहीं हुआ, etc etc. And then smoothly moved on to just give like a list of atrocities that happened over the years, including Kashmiri Pandits, by the way. Rajasthan में क्या अत्याचार हो रहा है, West Bengal में क्या अत्याचार हो रहा है, मतलब she did all that. And then she spoke about what the government has done for people, Manrega, and how many women are being educated, and how many more women are being educated and getting PhDs, etc. And then suddenly she started saying, आज तक मैंने ऐसे कोई अभद्र व्यवहार नहीं देखा, मिसोजिनिस्ट व्यवहार नहीं देखा. राहुल गांधी ने फ्लाइंग किस दे के चले गए, और ये पार्लियामेंट में महिला मेंबर्स को फ्लाइंग किस कैसे दिया. एंड शी केम आउट and she spoke about that, and then Ravi Shankar Prasad spoke about that, and a ton of people gave bites about how Rahul Gandhi gave a flying kiss while going away. And now that is what they decided is the important thing in that whole thing. Yeah, so interesting times in parliament, no? Kind of ridiculous. Karan is saying it's the weirdest sort of thing for the whole thing. Yeah, man, it's quite crazy. Sheldon is saying you need to restart Sansad Watch type show. Sheldon, so the thing is, I am thinking of doing more live streams like these for Parliament. I'm not thinking of a show right now because I'm working on the other Fluffoganda series, which you must have seen. I've done 2 videos. There are 2 more left. And after that, I have some other videos also planned, not bare biceps, but sort of deep dives into other things. So I'm talking to a few people about that as well. So, but if you want to talk about Parliament, what I'm thinking of doing was I will do live sessions like these, which are just talking about Parliament and what happened there. And if you have any questions, you can ask me. In fact, today I was going to also, in case some questions came, I don't know if any questions will come on that, but I was thinking of showing you things like the rule book of Parliament and what happens there. I have a lot of stuff open, so in case you want to talk about that, it's very nerdy. So I mean, if you want to, but yeah, if you want, I can talk about that as well. So yeah, just a second. Yeah, okay. Um, uh, Joel is asking, did you leave News Laundry? Yes, sir. A year ago. I left a year ago. There are a few more. Lots of comments. I know. Guys, I will take a few of them. And I know there are a lot, as you can see on the side. But I will. Beer biceps episode was long but good. Thank you. Yeah, the beer biceps episode is long, and a lot of people are telling me it's long. I know it's long. I do know it's long, and it is a very conscious decision to keep it long. Um, a lot of people. So this, I also wanted to address that because so many people have been saying that, oh, isko chota karo. Uh, I just watched half of it. Isko aur chota karo. So some background. Um, when I was with News Laundry for about 5 years, I was doing a lot of videos which were smallish, like half an hour, 20 minutes, 10 minutes, us range mein. And what ended up happening usually was that I would do like a lot of research. I would write a script, but a lot of things just I wanted to go into details, but I couldn't because of the restriction of the time. Um, and I always felt really bad about that because I thought that there are some things which I think are interesting, but maybe the audience might also think it's a very tricky territory when you're writing like a short video with like a limit, right? This is something that I wanted to do for a while because I watch a lot of YouTube creators who do long videos. I mean, if you want, you can check out Philosophy Tube. There is H Bomber guy who is great. There are like Coffeezilla, also great. So there are like a bunch of YouTubers who I watch who do content like this. Unfortunately, there is nobody in India right now doing this. So I thought, why not start? This is basically like a video essay commentary format. So I thought, let's try it out. Maybe we will find an audience here. And I'm very happy to tell you that I did. I mean, there is a great amount of people who thought that this format is interesting. So yeah, it's basically, yeah, that's what I want to do. It makes me happy. That's basically the answer for that. Uh, Gameplay streams, Digbanshu. Yeah, I'm not sure how interested people would be. Uh, there are some live streamers, other live streamers who I watch, like Hasanabi and Destiny, Destiny especially, who is just playing a game while talking to people, and they're live for like a long time, like 5 hours, 6 hours, but they do it on Twitch. I think Destiny does it on YouTube. Um, I don't know. Maybe I will do that also at some point. Like longish live streams. Again, it's all about appetite, right? These are all things that I'm trying out, just looking at other creators that are doing it outside India. And now I'm seeing that there is an interest in India that is developing for formats like these. So maybe one day, I don't know. Let's see. Um, Continue the format as it is. We'll watch it on 2x speed. Yeah, there's another, not a complaint, but a concern that came about the background music. So when you increase it to 1.5 and 2x, the background music sounds a little weird, is what I heard. I tried it. I think it sounds okay, but yeah. Now I'm trying to figure out whether to keep background music or not. I like background music. I spend like an enormous amount of time sort of on the YouTube library trying to find tracks and then trying to see where they fit, etc. So I'm going to do that. But just tell me if you think that 1.5x just ruins your experience with because of the background music. Then I'll try to figure out how to figure work around that. What's your take on not focusing camera on Rahul Gandhi in Lok Sabha instead of focusing camera on Speaker Om Birla? Yeah, that I was just talking about that, Chandan, just like a few minutes ago, where I said that I have been pointing this out for literally years now. When I was in working in Parliament, this used to happen as well, not to this extent, but later. Now it's so obvious. You know what started this? I mean, not started this, but it happened more often during disruptions. You will see that MPs hold placards, right? Like for example, with Manipur, a lot of MPs are holding placards with "Save Manipur," whatever else written on it. So they know where the cameras are, and whenever a person is speaking, they will bring the placard in front of them to just make a point, right? So then the camera shifts, and then they see that, oh, camera shift ho gaya hai, so then someone else will put like a ye on it. And the reason why they're able to do this is because there's a big screen in front of them, in the Lok Sabha and in the Rajya Sabha, so they know exactly what is being broadcast, and it's very evident. So then that's like one way of them, trying to get their message out. But yeah, so I think on those occasions, shifting the camera does make sense, maybe. But what has been happening lately is that whenever an opposition MP is speaking, the camera just moves away to either show the speaker or the treasury benches or something else. This is bizarre, uh, because it's just like, and when and you, if you compare it with like BJP politicians when they're speaking, or the treasury benches when they're speaking, the camera is stable there on them, the frame is there, they actually show wide views of how much support they are getting around them. Did you see Amit Shah? I think I briefly saw his speech, I didn't see the complete thing. At one point he started narrating the scams that UP has done. अदर स्कैम किसने किया? यूपीए ने. कोयला घोटाला किसने किया? यूपीए ने. 2G स्कैम किसने किया? यूपीए ने. एंड दिस यूपीए ने, people around him were saying UPA ne, right? At that point, if you see the glorious view that Sunset TV has provided to us, where he's going like this, and you can see people around him going like this, and it's just stable, right? There is no cutaway, nothing. It's just nice framing right there, as if it's like, हाँ क्या best must photography कर रहे हैं हम यहाँ पे. It's bizarre, and they're not giving the same courtesy to the opposition, which is sad. And I mean, a lot of things about Parliament are sad. What am I talking about? But yeah, it's tragic, man. Like, I mean, the whole thing is a bit not acceptable. Is Kejriwal actually that important on a national level? Is what Arshad is talking about. I think his party has risen very quickly. I think he's worth paying attention to for sure. As I think, one of the good speeches that I saw during the, I think, was it yesterday or day before, Raghav Chadda spoke on the National Capital Territory Bill, where they just took away all the powers from Aam Aadmi Party, just casually. Uh, I feel like, the thing with Aam Aadmi Party is that they're just trying to see where their real dedicated vote base is. They wanted to expand beyond, of course, Delhi. And what is weird is that wherever it was AAP versus Congress, they've been able to make gains. So they are now like hyper aware that they are stealing away Congress votes, and the Congress knows that as well. So it's kind of interesting to watch that thing. Oof, I'm sorry guys, ये WhatsApp बंद करना पड़ेगा. ये क्या हो रहा है यहाँ पे? Sorry. Yeah. I was saying. What was I saying before the annoying thing began? Yeah, I was saying that the Aam Aadmi Party is on a rise for sure. Punjab, etc. So it's worth a watch, right? Now they're a part of the INDIA alliance. I.N.I.A, whatever alliance, like news channels refuse to, say the full name, which is India. I feel like it's a very interesting journey to watch politically. Look, national importance wise, you never know. Because you never know who is at the right place at the right time. I keep talking about this, right? In politics, it's very important to be in the right place at the right time, and then know that you are in the right place at the right time, so that you take decisions accordingly. Narendra Modi did it in 2012, 2013 period, right? When he decided, yeah, this is the time to make a run for the prime minister seat, and he got Prashant Kishore, he got like a bunch of other people, strategized it. He knew this was the right place to do it, right time to do it, and he did. So you never know when an opportunity comes, and maybe someone like Kejriwal might pick it up, or maybe Rahul Gandhi might pick it up, or someone else will pick it up. So it's it's a question of when the right place and right time is. In Punjab, in a shorter version, I feel like they noticed that this is the right place and right time for us to make a move, and they did, and it paid off. Um, yeah, guys, I'm going to just shuffle between the chat इधर उधर and take comments for now. थोड़ा से ऊपर भी रह गए, I know. Uh, what is your opinion on the former CJ comment in Parliament over the National Capital Territory Amendment Act? You know, basically, I think that act is bad. Even the Supreme Court said it's, matlab, like, they had to pass an ordinance to basically overturn a Supreme Court judgment. I feel like it's basically taking away the Aam Aadmi Party's mandate. And this is not about the Aam Aadmi Party, right? This is about us, Delhi voters, who have actually voted for parties who are in power or not. I don't know. I'm not going to tell you who I voted for. I got into trouble because of that. But anyway, the thing is that whatever it is, right? The mandate of the Delhi people, they voted in a government, voted for a party. Now they are in government, and it is kind of bad faith to take away the power of that government and give it to the central government just by an ordinance. And I feel like it's just plain bad faith written all over it, right? And of course, the CJI spoke about it. The CJI also has like a bad track record in general about Parliament. I think in his 3 years that he became member of Parliament, this is his first speech, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I mean, अभी कुछ कर नहीं सकते. पार्लियामेंट ने अगर अप्रूव कर दिया है तो लॉ चेंज हो गया है, सो कुछ कर नहीं सकते उसके बारे में. इट इज एज इट इज. इट्स द सेम थिंग दैट हैपेंड विद एमसीडी, राइट? दे मर्ज द एमसीडी बैक इनटू मल्टीपल three, if I'm not wrong, municipal corporation. There's an episode I did like 2 years ago on News Laundry. You can check it out. Just because the BJP wanted to redraw the boundaries and make sure that they have a better chance at winning the MCD elections, which did not really go that well. But they did, right? And nobody could do anything about it. So it's kind of on the same lines. Vivek is asking, got into trouble for that? Elaborate, please. Yeah, I got into trouble. I wrote an article and I admitted. I'm not going to tell you which article it was. You do your own research and find it if you can. I did an article a long time ago, like 2015. I want to say 2016 or around that time, where I was like giving like very nice gyan about how you know when you go to vote, you should look at the candidate and you should look at their performance and how they have done, and that should make a part of your decision to vote for that person. Super privileged opinion. Yeah, I know that now, and I actually said that, oh yeah, I voted for an XYZ person, and because I looked at their work, because I think that they're doing well, etc., etc. And yeah, now it has come to bite me in the ass. Yeah, it has, unfortunately. Never reveal who you voted for. Keep the long format. Nerds like me love it. Sheldon, from a fellow nerd, I know what you mean. I watch a lot of these videos. Yeah, I'm with you, man. Can you be Can you be a news laundry for famous Indian YouTube channels, just like Science is Dope for intentions and peddling of agendas? Ansel, honestly, I don't know what direction this channel will take. For now, I am doing 4 videos on the propaganda that Beer Biceps is doing. But the thing is, I realized, and when I was writing this, I was realizing this, that just dissing Beer Biceps will not do. I don't want to just, make fun of Beer Biceps or his guests or whatever it is. I mean, sure, I do that to a great extent, but at the same time, my objective is for the audience to also have like a nice takeaway from it. Because I feel like, talking about very basic things like what is politics, what is geopolitics, how does it affect you, that has been what I've been trying to do for years, right? Like when I started writing, for News Laundry and other publications, I used to put in GIFs while explaining a lot of laws, because I thought, hey, I'm simplifying it, I'm turning it into casual language. Then I did that with Sansad Watch as well, where I tried to deconstruct Parliament and tried to deconstruct how democracy works. Then with Sansad Watch, again deconstructing Parliament. But now what I'm realizing is that there's this entire crowd of people who are coming into the political space, where through people like Beer Biceps, and they have no concept of what politics is, right? They have no concept of what a government is, they have no concept, which, and still they like to have opinions on it. So I thought that if I'm able to even get like a portion of those people in, hook them in through Beer Biceps, of course, I mean, I am totally riding that wave, and why not? That is what YouTube is. You ride waves. But at the same time, if I'm able to like get that audience in and trying to sort of give them like some very basic understanding of how things work, I feel like that's a decent endeavor to go upon. But to your question, like, should this become a channel of criticizing Indian YouTubers who are spreading propaganda? I think I don't want to limit myself to that right now. For now, I am. Yes. In the future, I have some other plans. I mean, other plans in the sense I will do deep dives, but I have like a ton of topics in my head now where I can give the same treatment to, and I feel like you will find it very interesting. Nerdy topics, but still, I feel like there is an audience now for this. So great. Um, Millennial Mind has a question. Millennial Mind is my OG subscriber. He has been very diligently coming for my chats and live streams also. Hello, Millennial Mind. Uh, BJP justified the ordinance just by saying that the same was used to happen in the past. Um, oh, is the Delhi CM reduced to a mere mayor or a Nagar Sev? So this keeps happening, Millennial Mind. I think it's also like a question of, as I said, go watch my video on News Laundry about when the MCD elections were happening. I explained this entire thing about this bizarre three-tier weird system that Delhi is. It's a union territory, but it's also not. It is also, we directly elect a government, but they also don't have full power. MCD is different, and then central government once in a while comes in and tries to create a sandwich, which is what happened in the case of the MCD elections with Kejriwal. It's very bizarre, and it has been happening for decades now. With Sheila Dikshit, even before that, the powers just keep changing. It's like a toss and turn. सेंटर में जो भी आता है वो बोला नहीं दिल्ली मेरा है, नेशनली मेरा है, अभी स्टेट में भी मेरा कर लूँगा, एंड एमसीडी भी मेरा हो जाएगा because I can just change the laws. That keeps happening, unfortunately. Vimo is here. Hello, Vimo. Hi. You can make a video on geopolitics. I did, Laughing Panda. Just see my last video. It was basically about geopolitics and what it is. So that's what I was talking about. Make the live chat subscriber only. More people will subscribe then. I am Sagnik. I have this wild idea. What I'm going to do is I am going to do members only streams. I'll start the join thing soon. Let's hope I get something. But but the point is, what I was thinking was, when I make these videos, there's a lot of time that I just generally spend reading, writing, editing. So I was thinking I'll do members live streams there, where whenever I'm sitting to write down, I will just do something, and then I can do like a live stream after it for members only. So you can also look at my process a little bit. Because I feel like a lot of people were really happy with the last video when I actually spoke about retention time and how much time people are consuming. Even people like, other YouTubers who have been reaching out to me to understand how these videos are working, because it is kind of different from a lot of what a lot of people are doing. They have been also asking, like, what is the retention time? Can you tell us what is the data you're getting out of this? And I feel like, for a members only live stream, I think that would be great, right? Which is like, I'm also like talking about some insights I got on, the data that I have on this channel. I think it would be a great learning experience for all of us combined. Plus, I can get some ideas from you guys. In the last episode, if you know, shout out to Bharatiya Janata podcast. Just check them out. They actually helped me a lot, because they told me about Rajiv Malhotra, what he did, etc. They pointed me in the directions that I need to go to. Abhijit Chawda, a lot of things, right? Vimo has helped me as well. So I think that, if I keep that a live members only live stream, maybe some of you guys might want to contribute as well, and sort of also, like, just have fun and do some research, and we can dig in deep together. So that was my thought. Maybe I can try doing that. Uh, I'm Amartya Singh. I'm a law student. I'm sure want to get out of this country as soon as possible. And will it be hindered by right-wing communists like VHP or RSS in the name of patriotism after 2024 elections? I'm not sure what this means, Amartya. Uh, will it be hindered? So you mean that will VHP or RSS stop you from going out? No. Just look at my last video. From the looks of it, the government will help you get out as fast as you want. Yes. I'm very shocked, guys. I saw that video. Okay, have you seen that S. Shankar interview with Beer Biceps? So I was very taken aback when he was asked about the brain drain thing, because I'm so used to politicians hearing about this whole thing about, oh, brain drain ho raha hai, hamara talent bhag raha hai. And then they blame it on reservations or something, वो तो usual. But at the same time, it's like, oh my god, IIT से निकल के सब भाग जाते हैं बाहर. And इंडिया में तो कोई talent ही नहीं बचा है. Everybody goes away. Brain drain हो रहा है. So the thing is, I was that is the usual rhetoric that I'm used to hearing from politicians and everyone, whatever. But he was like, yeah, we are helping them now, because the Modi ji has said that the world is a global workspace. I'm like, yeah, really? That's interesting. And to be honest, that's a very logical thing to say, because why should you stop yourself here when you have better opportunities there or anywhere else? I mean, think about it. I mean, it is selfish, but yeah, like, will you just stay back to serve the nation? Or would you rather just, like, find an opportunity for yourself, build a life for yourself, find a comfortable environment to live in where people don't randomly kill you on a riot or burn down your businesses, like, which is happening literally 20 kilometers away from me until last week, and even now in spurts. Or, if you are a part of a civil war which is happening in Manipur, I mean, people from there would be like, screw it, we are going away. Guys, the Kashmiri Pandit situation, which happened in 2021 to 2023 ke beech mein, where Kashmiri Pandits were getting killed, that was horrifying. People were running away even then. Like, families entirely packing up their shit and getting out of the state. That's horrible. If they're saying that, I don't want to live here, I want to get out as fast as possible, please, yes. And the government is helping you now. That, like, the minister said it. So go right ahead. Anurag Guha, bro, please respond. Are you Bengali? No, sir, I'm not Bengali. I am a Marathi Manus, and I come from Nagpur. I am a Marathi Manus. Have you stopped working for News Laundry? Yes, I have, Bhushan. I have. I sometimes do some cameos for Nuisance every now and then. So yeah, I mean, I'm friendly with them. They call me and I go there. It's fine. Why are you looking like a young Gandalf? I take that as a compliment. Um, why don't Priyanshu is saying, why don't you, Vimo, and maybe Akash Banerjee team up and do streams like Sham Sharma, Kunal Mehra, AIM do? I have not seen those. Um, but yeah, me and Vimo have done a few. We have done one with Science is Dope as well. Akash ke sath I did a podcast on the All About Now channel with IVM. So yeah, I mean, we'll see as it evolves. Yeah, but I'm very happy to do this. I think Vimo ke sath मेरी already बात चल रही है. Maybe we will do another reaction video soon. So yeah, we want to do a bunch of these things. Hello. Gaurang is saying hello. Just joining. I heard something about helping out with research. Yeah. Hi, Gaurang. So no, I was just telling people that if you are interested in doing deep dive research like I do, I will probably do live streams, members only live streams, so that you can join in and you can just chill and we can work on things together, or just I'll just tell you the progress of videos, etc. Because you know what happened, when I did the first video, I had said that I will take a long time. Again, I am doing a full-time job with IVM also, so it takes a while to basically do this, because I usually sit at night or early in the morning or on weekends to work on this. So a lot of people were asking kab aa raha hai next video, kab aa raha hai next video, kab aa raha hai next video. So maybe I'll just do like live streams and people can come in and they'll be like, ah, yeah, and then I'll tell you, kab aa raha hai next video. Like for example, right now I can tell you that the next video I've started researching it, watching it right now. Scripting hasn't started yet, but I will soon. This weekend is for that only. That's what I do this weekend. That's what I do. Um, Members only Discord. I don't want to start another Discord. I'm going to try and work with this right now. It's like too much on my plate. Are you going to be the Indian version of Wash? You know, I just recently started watching Wash. I really like it. I don't know. But yeah, maybe. I don't know who I'm an Indian version of. I'm also like looking at a lot of YouTubers like you are and picking up, like tricks and techniques and what people are doing. So yeah, let's see where this goes. Again, no real plans, guys. No real plans. We will see how it evolves. Uh, just to give you context, like until I started this last year, this channel, but I've been just doing like random live streams every once in a while. I do a video, etc. But now is the time when I actually learned DaVinci Resolve, and I'm editing these myself. That learning process itself took me a few months to do. So that's why these videos are now coming out every once in a while. Again, not as fast as you would like it, I know, but at the same time it took a while. So I mean, again, it's a learning process, right? I will just continue to try more things. भाई नागपुर मतलब आरएसएस मींस सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट का हेडक्वार्टर इज नागपुर विल ऑल सपोर्ट आरएसएस फेक नेशनलिज्म in Channabasao, Mudgod. Okay. Yeah. I am from Nagpur, and I have a few people, a lot of people actually, who are in the RSS. I've spoken about this a bunch of times. My family में बहुत सारे हैं supporters. And yeah, it's hard. It's been hard. I'm like a black sheep of that family, where फैमिली ग्रुप्स में मतलब टारगेट ही बन जाते हैं यार. मतलब बहुत अजीब सिचुएशन हो गई है सही में. लाइक ऑल दीज अंकल्स एंड मामाज एंड whatever who I used to hang out with when I was a kid, used to go to their houses in Pune, Mumbai, इधर उधर नागपुर में ही used to hang out. Suddenly they're like, a few years ago they're just attacking me very randomly, calling me देशद्रोही, whatever. मतलब कुछ भी हो रहा है, कुछ भी, like and I'm left wondering कि अरे मामा जी आपके हाथ से मैंने जलेबी खाई थी. I don't like jalebi, but still आपके हाथ से मैंने जलेबी खाई थी मामा जी. Why are you being like this? And they're like, ha, देशद्रोही, anti-national चूतिया. I'm like, oh, what the fuck is happening? Atharvi is asking, you play Age of Empires? I tried it, the new one, right? I did. Not too much. I did play it a bit. Sai Krishna grew up in Nagpur also, Kathol Road. What is happening with All About Now? All About Now has gone on a break, Rain 60. That's the situation there. It's just gone on a break. But yeah, मेरे चैनल पे आ जाओ. Mm, मैं डालूंगा कंटेंट, मैं बात करूंगा आपसे. How has the data protection bill killed the RTI? Sai Krishna is asking. Sai Krishna, next video, that's what we are getting into. Next video, I'm covering the interview with Rajiv Chandrasekhar, and it is going to all sorts of wonderful places as usual. But I'm going to talk a lot about data protection there. Just letting you know, and the RTI thing. Again, the bill has passed. Rajya Sabha में pass हो गया ना अभी? I think I did today or tomorrow. Not sure. But yeah, it has passed, and it will pass. So there's a lot to talk about with data protection because I've been following that debate since forever. And there's a lot of things that have been happening, like versions and versions of the bills that came out. There were many consultations that happened, sab ignore kar diya. Then there were like data localization का भी एक issue आया था बीच में. It's a big long story. So I'll get into some of it, not all of it, some of it. But yeah, watch out for that one. I will tell you. um, Unsubscribed beer biceps, thank you. I didn't ask you to unsubscribe, okay? Don't blame me for that shit. I'm not taking the responsibility for your unsubscriptions. um Problem Modi comparing himself with Nehru. Uh, Wait, what? The problem is Modi comparing himself with Nehru. Anurag is saying. Okay. Is Dhruv Rathi slowly drifting towards right? Sonic Blues is asking. I don't have an answer for that, Sonic Blues. But think about it. Think about what do you mean by the right also sometimes. The right. Uh, what does that mean for you? If you can tell me that, maybe I can expound on that a little bit. If you mean supporting BJP just is equal to the right, or is it like policy wise? I feel like there is a lot to sort of unpack there for yourself. Maybe that would help. The way Sansad is passing bills, it would have been great that you were still doing Sansad Watch, Dheeraj is saying. Yeah, I know. I hear you, Dheeraj. I hear you. And that's what I was telling a lot of people, that I will do like regular live streams to talk about Parliament maybe. I'm not thinking of doing an entire show anymore. But at the same time, I'm happy to talk about Parliament whenever you want. And I will spend time like this to talk about it. Yep. So if you have any questions specifically with what is happening in Parliament, please go ahead. I would be happy to talk about it right now. Any comments on Rahul Gandhi's flying kiss today? I just started with that. Zyro, if you go back, I already spoke about it. That's such a ridiculous thing. What the hell is happening? Like, of all the things, like राहुल गांधी ने स्पीच दिया, उसने मणिपुर के बारे में बात किया, स्मृति ईरानी ने स्पीच दिया, शी स्पोक अबाउट कश्मीरी पंडित्स के साथ क्या हुआ, राजस्थान में क्या हो रहा है, वेस्ट बंगाल में क्या हो रहा है, अत्याचार हो रहा है, देन महिलाओं का कितना प्रोग्रेस हुआ मोदी जी के अंडर. एंड देन शी इज लाइक, हाँ राहुल गांधी फ्लाइंग किस देके गया, सो मिसोजिनिस्ट ऑफ हिम. एंड नाउ इट्स जस्ट अबाउट दैट. इट्स जस्ट अबाउट, लाइक लिटरली, लाइक ट्विटर पे देखा, सब जगह देखा, क्या हुआ ये फ्लाइंग किस एग्जैक्टली. एंड आई वाज लाइक व्हाट, इट्स जस्ट बिजार. Ashutosh is saying hello. Gujarat, Chandan is saying Gujarat CM talking about getting permission from parents for doing love marriages. So now love marriages will be rebranded as arranged marriage. Oh yeah, I saw that. It's very ridiculous. Also, think about it this way, right? मतलब तुम बोल तो कुछ भी देते हो, right? Even take the UCC, the Uniform Civil Code, right? बोलने के लिए तो तुम कुछ भी बोल सकते हो, right? कि हाँ हम तो ऐसा ही करेंगे वैसा ही करेंगे, but when it comes to actual policy implementation, think about how that would work, right? Like if you are saying that oh love marriage के लिए permission देना पड़ेगा, define love marriage. चलो, what is a love marriage? क्या मतलब तुम you met a boy outside and then you suddenly were like, oh yeah, I like this person, you like this person, you start hanging out together, then you go to your parents and you tell them, and then they are either okay or not okay with it. So if you're okay with it, then it's okay, then you can marry. If you're not okay with it, what? The police will come. What will happen? Like, tell me. Or will these people elope to another state and marry anyway? क्या होगा बताओ ना. मतलब ठीक है, एक लड़का लड़की are in a relationship, they go to parents, say हाँ हमको शादी करनी है. Parents are like nahi, like Amrish Puri, and then what happens? You tell me. क्या जबरदस्ती शादी करवा देंगे? Then where is this going? Right? Implement क्या होगा, कैसे होगा? So, whenever ridiculous statements like these are made by CMs and politicians and just whatever, just ask them some very basic questions. Just imagine yourself in that situation. And you're like, कैसे होगा भैया? बताओ ना. मतलब like बारीकी से बताओ. What exactly will happen? And their entire argument just like collapses and becomes nothing. And you can see that happening so many times. With UCC also that happens. Like Uniform Civil Code lana hai. But then the northeastern states and tribal states of India are like, no, we have different customs. How can you get rid of our customs? Like Uniform Civil Code लाओगे तो मतलब क्या? ऐसे ही मतलब बस बोल दिया और आ गया. What about our customs? उसके बारे में तो कुछ बीजेपी के पॉलिटिशियंस बोले भैया, लाइक कि नहीं कर सकते. व्हाट आर यू इवन टॉकिंग अबाउट? लाइक यूसीसी, हाउ विल यू डू दिस? एंड देन इट जस्ट स्टॉप्ड, राइट? इट्स बिजार. Yash Verma, thank God I have never seen that biceps guy in my YouTube recommendation. It's way better to watch retro cartoon shows than him. Okay. Thea is asking, do you think people in the middle and upper middle class are more conservative in terms of religion than lower strata of society? I'm not sure if I have an answer for that. I've been trying to think about, like I think me and Vimo also had like a bunch of conversations on this about why people turn to religion in general, right? For example, I just went to Pushkar in Rajasthan. If you guys don't know, Pushkar is this town, it's a temple town, which is like this tiny lake with about 500 temples around it, small and big, 80 big ones. But what that town is known for is the Brahma temple. So there is a Brahma temple there, and it is said that that is the only Brahma temple around India. And there is a myth associated with it that Brahma was cursed by Saraswati, that nobody will worship him because he married someone else to do a yajna. Bunch of myths, as it usually happens. So that is the only place where Brahma's devotees can go and worship Brahma. Got me thinking, right? Why are there so many people who are coming to that place to, worship something like a Brahma temple, right? Have you heard of a Brahma Bhakt ever? I haven't. I mean, until I went to Pushkar, I genuinely haven't seen anyone say that, oh, I'm a Brahma Bhakt. I mean, Shiv Bhakt, sure. Ram Bhakt, sure. Krishna Bhakt, sure. Durga, sure. But Brahma Bhakt? No. So, I was thinking about why people turn towards faith in general, or where they find relief in general. And initially, I used to think that people who follow religions are extremely stupid. and it shouldn't happen, and it's completely brainless to do it. But as I grow older, I realize that a lot of people are in a lot of ways lonely and very sad. And if there is like this made up entity which sort of gives them some sort of relief, um, it's okay. It's okay. And another thing is, I was thinking of uh, I was thinking of our help Suman, who basically went to a Vaishno Devi pilgrimage, right? She wanted to go for years, and she finally got an opportunity to sort of gathered enough money to actually go there with her family. And she was so happy because not only was it a big pilgrimage for her because she's a big Vaishno Devi Bhakt, but also it became a nice holiday for her own family as well, right? So, I mean, there can be multiple reasons how you can look at this. It just becomes an excuse maybe for her to actually go there and visit, and it's actually a wonderful thing then. It's complicated. Like, everybody will have different answers for this. Sai Krishna has given 40 rupees ka super chat. Thank you, Sai Krishna. Thoughts on New York Times exposing NewsClick? What? When did this happen? I didn't even see it. Wait. Sorry guys, आलू का जूम कॉल चल रहा है बाजू में. शी ये क्या है? How a US tech baron helped push Chinese propaganda worldwide. Is this the one? एक second guys. Sorry. Showing you my browser also. How a US tech baron helped push Chinese propaganda worldwide. What's New York Times investigation found? The investigation found Indian news outlet NewsClick to be financed by Neville Singham, who the report accuses of pushing Chinese talking points through his network of non-profits. Subsequently, Union Minister Anurag Thakur was quick to bash NewsClick for its China links. Okay. चाइना कांग्रेस एंड न्यूज़ क्लिक. ऑफ कोर्स कांग्रेस को भी बीच में ला लिया. ऑफ कोर्स न्यूज़ क्लिक्स मनी ट्रेल रिवील्स भारत विरोधी एजेंडा. He also alleges deep links between certain activist journalists and China. Mentioned in the parliament, claiming the article exposed the Tukde gang and some media. Okay. A recent investigation by the New York Times has found that US tech baron Neville Roy Singham helped push Chinese propaganda worldwide through his network of non-profits. From a think tank in Massachusetts to an event space in Manhattan, from a political party in South Africa to a news organization in India and Brazil, the Times tracked hundreds and millions of dollars group linked to Mr. Singham that makes progressive advocacy with Chinese government talking points. Okay. What are the talking points? Did they mention? Okay. Neville Singham, a Marxist with software company. Okay. Okay, I'll have to read this even better. But okay, that's an interesting story. I will come back to you on that. I have not read this properly, but it seems like it's an interestingly long one. I will get back on that. But just on the surface, I think it's important to talk about how funding also works, right? So, for example, there was this time, and I can talk about it now because it happened a long time ago. I was a LAMP fellow, legislative assistant to members of parliament. And it is still run by this organization called PRS, right? And they had basically funding from Ford Foundation, right? Now, the thing is, there was this whole bawal that broke out in Kerala, and specifically in Kerala, which is basically they tried to spin it as how Ford Foundation is affecting Parliament in India. How LAMP fellows are trained and used to push the US agenda and all sorts of agendas and Soros and whatever. बहुत कुछ हो गया था. And this was way back in 2011, 2012, right? So it was not BJP times. It was Congress times. And there were a few governments which were very worried about it, and it became a sort of a story and, you know, whatever. But the thing is, because I was a part of that fellowship, I never got anything from, let's say, PRS or anyone who is telling us कि नहीं नहीं तुमको यही opinion देना है या यही करना है. Actually, we are strictly told not to give any opinions because we are not old enough to give opinions. We were like 21, 22-year-olds who are talking to like literally like 45-year-old, 50-year-old MPs who are there for 2 terms, 3 terms. And हम क्या ही बोलेंगे बॉस कि वो influence हो जाएंगे. Like, why would a senior level politician actually let us 21, 22-year-olds actually influence them? What happens is when this funding thing comes up, right? It is like this imagery that is built in your head that, oh, China से ना कोई तो भी directions दे रहा होगा and then, you know, उसी की वजह से पैसा आ रहा होगा and then talking points जा रहे होंगे. You know, it might, I don't know about this particular story, might have found evidence of that actually happening. I'll have to read that. But in most cases, what I see is that it's not usually like an agenda pushing thing so much as supporting independent media, for example. Or like, you know, there are funds which are specifically trying to, like Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, right? You know, they are trying to do interventions in healthcare. There is a very good video you should watch on philanthropic. I forget what was it called. Basically, how philanthropy affects policy making. So if you want to actually look at how funding works and philanthropy works, it's basically you should look at it at a policy making level rather than what a news channel is doing to influence. Like right now, because of electoral bonds, you have no idea who is giving money to our political parties. Literally no idea, right? And there is no way to find out, right? So if you want to look at how influence is working, maybe you need to follow that trail, which is the electoral bond trail. Because why would you think about it? If you are funding someone to influence policy, would you rather give money to something like NewsClick, which is not even that big of a website? Or would you rather give money to a political party who can actually make changes to policy in parliament according to what they want? Think about it, right? You know, like it's just such an easier way to do it if you want to actually influence. So think about it this way, like if you want to turn it into like a monster inside your head, go right ahead. But maybe there are other bigger monsters you need to look at where actual influence is happening, and maybe talk about that. Again, don't know about this story. I'll look at it and let you know. Anurag, hello, hi. Wait, Srijan is saying क्या हुआ? किसी ने कुछ तो भी बोला क्या? He should be called out for misinformation and his fraud on physics stuff. There is like a long conversation happening somehow. I'm not sure what is happening. But anyway, Lone Wolf, big fan of you. Not exactly how you present, but more towards what you present as info. Sure. Personal suggestion, shift to Plaga stuff? What's up Plaga stuff? I have no idea what that means. Plaga. Okay. Views on Nishikant Dubey. Yesterday he took names of 2 women journalists without any proof and used his privilege of being an MP. Anubhav, I don't know the context of this. We'll have to find out. You deserve a lot, but just arrange it a bit more for the plebes. Okay. Percy, why did you leave News Laundry? Yes, I still get that question a year later. Just simple. I wanted to basically do some other things. Like I wanted to, how will I was doing like short videos. I was doing Parliament. I was doing reporting and all the things. But I wanted also to take a little bit of a break and also like try long format things. So I switched to IVM, and I wanted to go into podcasts. So that was basically my reason for leaving News Laundry, and here I am. So yeah. Meghnad, what plans for the channel? Are you going to make this News Laundry type content or go to the other way? Okay, there is an ad break coming, by the way. Yep. Anyway, uh, so what is the plan for this channel? As of now, I don't have much plans, but you have also said go the other way to Hasanabi type React content. Both has audiences. So I am going to do like a mix of, I think, React content. Would you call this React content? I would, to a certain extent. Watching videos and reacting to them also. Probably might go a little bit in that direction, but mostly long format videos is what I'm going for right now, because I have found that it gives me a lot of space to write and also like sort of experiment and edit, and I'm having a lot of fun doing it. So yeah, but idea is to also increase the frequency of these live streams as well. Neo is asking, is there any chance of India moving towards capitalism than mixed economy, like a libertarian society? I think it has never happened, but I really wish. Wait, you want it to happen, is what you're saying? What are your thoughts? I feel like we've already moved a little bit towards capitalism. You know, the interesting thing is that we have moved towards capitalism for the top 10% or even 5%, but for the rest of the country, we are just still a welfare state. 80 crore people still depend on ration. That's a big ass number, guys. Big ass number. And that is very socialist of us. Very, very socialist of us to do that. Prime Minister Awas Yojana, building free houses, all these electricity schemes, giving subsidized electricity. All of these are very socialist things to do. But at the same time, when you're talking about giving out big projects like highways and infrastructure projects like airports, etc., we're totally capitalism. That side में पूरा capitalism जा रहे हैं हम कि पूरा बेच दो, मतलब लाइक किसको देना है, ऑक्शन कर दो, ये कर दो, वो कर दो, रिसोर्सेज के लिए वी आर गोइंग दैट वे. बट व्हेन इट कम्स टू बेसिक नीड्स वी आर स्टिल अ वेलफेयर स्टेट. सो वी आर बोथ, right? So if you are living in a country, if you're watching this channel, if you're understanding English, you're probably in like the top 10% anyway. So for you, you're already living in a capitalist India. But if you are not, if you are in the bottom 90%, you're still living in a welfare state, if that makes sense. It completely depends on how dependent you are on the government rather than how the government is behaving, because the government is giving you both options. And India has always been that way because we are such a extremely diverse, multifunctional, stratified society all across the board. It's just like all of it, right? Like तुम केरला में जाओ, वेस्ट बंगाल में जाओ, तुमको कम्युनिज्म मिलेगा, and there are people who will believe in it, right? But at the same time, will a Kerala government and a West Bengal government also bring in like establish like SEZs and give discounted like land to for people to establish industry? Also yes, they're not shying away from that. They also want money. So yeah, it's both. Oh, super chats are oh, thank you so much. Chikur? Chikur Chuchum Baba. That's interesting. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Does Swarna NRIs are lobbying in the USA to get BJP or Modi ji more importance there? You know, I've always wondered about this, Chikur. That's a very good question. Um, like, I've been wondering why this whole like this whole stadium thing that happened where Narendra Modi went there and there were like these stadiums were full of people, even in France, even in the US, even in Australia. Uh, Organizing an event like that takes a lot of money and takes a lot of mm, networking also, which means that there is a conscious effort by the BJP to actually get like that diaspora vote, and it's not even a vote, right? Diaspora ko effect karna hai, because I feel like to a large extent there are a lot of remittances that come into India, which have traditionally come from first world countries to India. My theory, complete theory, look at electoral bonds again. We don't know who is funding who. We genuinely don't, right? There is a reason why these events are so large. There is a reason why they are appealing to that crowd of diaspora people. I don't know. I do not have any proof right now. And as I have criticized, our friend Rajiv Malhotra for speaking without proof, I don't have any proof. But it's worth looking into for sure. And there is something going on. I mean, yeah, it's just from the surface level. I just want to say that. There's another one. Gaurang is saying, thank you for the super chat, Gaurang. By the way, thanks for all you are doing. You have inspired me to try and use my skill set to try and bring out the truth and inform people. Hey, Gaurang, thank you so much. I'm glad I was able to do that and spark that in you. And yeah, man, I feel like there is a big nerdy audience in India which is super starved, and I just want to find those people. I'm pretty sure there are, because I want to like be a little emotional here. Genuinely, when I put out the last video and this video, which is both related to beer biceps, of course, I was expecting that a lot of people, which is basically beer biceps fans, will just come and bash me. That is what will happen in my comment section. But no, actually, I feel like it's so heartwarming to see so many people resonating with content that I'm putting out, which is like this long unhinged video where there is a mental health break of 3 minutes in the middle. There are people who are like, yeah, this is exactly what we wanted. And it's like for me a little bit, because I was like, huh, 10,000 लोग देखेंगे ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा, but no, there's a giant amount of audience which actually wants stuff like that, which means that there are nerds like me out there, and I'm so happy. I'm genuinely so heartfelt and happy to see that. And yeah, it will only grow. I really hope, like this is the beginning of a nice little community that we can form all by ourselves, and, just nerd out a little bit about policy, politics, parliament, and just generally what is happening. Uh, yeah, man, I'm really glad you also find that, like, bringing out truth in people. You're also doing a small part in that, because that's exactly what I'm trying to do. Tigmanchu, emotional break, please. Ashutosh is saying I was waiting for some sane guy to react to it so that I can see Beer Biceps is doing without looking at his content. Yeah, I was also waiting for that, and therefore I decided to do it. It's traumatizing, guys. It's a little traumatizing. And the thing about Beer Biceps is that he's great at what he does. No problems there. He's actually great. I mean, his content game is spot on. He knows how to basically get those clicks. He knows how to get people engaged, uh, and he just goes by the algorithm. Really good at all that, but in that process, the kind of shit he pulls is a bit dangerous. That's the whole point. And the reason why I started doing it was when politicians, actual ministers, started appearing there. That raised massive red flags for me, because till before that, he was obviously like spreading, like getting people on which are spreading misinformation, etc. I was still like, okay, theek hai. But when it was funded by the taxpayer, that is when I was like, hey, मेरे टेरिटरी में आ रहा है अभी, my territory, and I will speak about this. I will talk and not shut up. Communism and Marxism is the cancer to the humankind. What's your thoughts on NewsClick's money laundering case? Is free journalism only tool for China? Chelsea, I just spoke about it earlier, Abhi. like I think 15 minutes ago. You can go back and see it. Someone else also raised it. But basically, I haven't read that report. I just saw it right now and gave my surface level reactions to it and explained a little bit about funding and how it works. So please go back and see it. I don't have any detailed comments on it. And about communism and Marxism being the cancer to the humankind, sure, why not? Mm, uh, One way to look at it is also maybe understanding what sort of ideology is being followed around you. So when someone says that, as I gave the example right now, right, in like a something like a Kerala or a West Bengal, like अरे सब communist भरे हुए हैं. Is it though? And if you want to actually accuse anyone of any sort of ideology, I feel like, look at the governments rather than the people, because people will sway, people will change their ideologies a lot. But what will really affect you on a personal level is the kind of ideology that a government is following. Does the West Bengal government openly say that it is a communist government? No. It actually fights the communists in its own state, the CPM. So maybe that is one way to look at it, but cancer to humankind, sure, man. I mean, I guess I don't really want to comment on that, but sure, if you feel like that. Uh, isn't it better? So Neo is asking, isn't it better to give capitalism to the poor also so that they could grow? And by capitalism, I mean the freedom one gets to do trade without any intervention, like a voluntary society. Um, Listen, Neo, right? Neo. Okay. I'll just give you a personal anecdote, okay, on this. I when I was in UP covering the elections, like Uttar Pradesh, last elections, um, before going there, we were all seeing reports of, deaths due to COVID. Like, all those horrifying images of bodies lying in the Ganga, covered in orange kapadas and all the things. And there was also like talk about, oh, Akhilesh Yadav is on the rise and he's going to defeat Yogi and all the things. But when we actually went there, what we saw is that a lot of people were grateful to the Yogi and Modi double engine sarkar, right? Because they gave them 500 bucks in directly into their bank accounts, and also made sure that all of them got ration during that time, which was a horrible time for all of us, but particularly for the poor. If a government is able to manage that, in a scenario like that, there is no choice, right? There is no choice as to, oh, ये brand का grain versus वो brand का grain लेना है, because grain is what you want, right? So in a country like India, where 80 crore people are dependent on ration, I think until they get to a point where their basic needs are actually fulfilled, um, the choice doesn't even come in, right? Um, do you think there is a choice for a person living in a village in UP getting like very minimal amount of money to send their kids to a private school, or even a school which is in the next village, which is maybe better? No, they will send it to the government school because it is the next available school. And also they get midday meal there. So then they don't have to feed their kids for one time a day, right? That you cannot have choice there. So how will you give choice when the basic needs are not fulfilled? Once those basic needs are fulfilled, I feel like people automatically start demanding things based on their personal preferences and choices. And that is where maybe you can say capitalism actually comes in towards offering a better choice. I feel like in a country like India, where the wealth inequality is so large right now, we cannot go one way or the other fully, if that makes sense. What do you think about Lullan Top? DJ is asking. I really like Saurabh's interviews, the long ones right before elections. I often watch them. That is the one thing I definitely consume, and also like their ground reporting is also like nice sometimes. So I do watch that. Do you watch Sandeep Maheshwari? Oh my god. I tried. I can't. I mean, that's my response. I can't. um, how do you cope up with stupidity? Okay. At what point do you think it's time to leave this country for good? I feel even talking with family members, friends is just too much at times. Shekhar, very existential question you have asked me, but I will give you an answer. I got a very good lesson from one of the MPs that I worked with, which I still follow till date, which is I'm a public personality, if I may say so, थोड़ा सा छोटा मोटा इधर उधर का, and I often think about, like the sort of responsibility maybe I have, because I mean even now there are like what 200 people watching, right? If you put them all in a room, like if there are 200 people, that's a big room, that's a lot of people watching, and that's a lot of people listening to me. That means there is some responsibility that does come on me. So I often think about how, you know how do I approach this. And my one of my MPs gave a very good line, which is, never assume that your audience is stupid, never assume that your voters are stupid, you become stupid. You should be the person who should be going down a notch so that you can reach out to your audience. But it doesn't mean that you need to also fulfill their need for stupidity, right? It doesn't mean that you should become like that content creator who is just saying whatever the fuck for clicks and content or whatever. No, do not do that. But at the same time, go down to a level where you are not that arrogant and you don't assume that your audience is stupid, because that is the biggest flaw you will make, because that is the biggest mistake you will make, because that just brings in like a lot of inherent bias and arrogance within you, which is very dangerous when you're a content creator, right? And I see that happen all the time. I mean, like, I know so many content creators who do that. I do not like that, so I follow that sort of line, so whenever I'm watching what you say is quote unquote stupid content, I do not look at it that way. I genuinely look at it from an audience perspective. I look at, like, for example, with Beer Biceps, if you saw the last two videos, I'm talking to the audience. I'm not really talking about what Beer Bicep. As I said, he's really good at what he does. He's reaching out to an audience and he's getting a lot of money for it. He has figured out the content game. He has figured out the algorithm, and he's doing what he knows he can do. But at the same time, when you're an audience, I want to give his audience credit, because I know they are not stupid, right? But they're being given some content which is like hitting very base level instincts within them. I just want to reach out to them and tell them, guys, you're better than this. I can be that. I can be as stupid as you want. I can do as many shenanigans as you want. I can do like poetry readings and do like whatever the fuck I want and like whatever, because I am stupid. You are better. You are better than this. It's not who you are. Just look a little deeper. थोड़ा सा surface से खुरेद खुरेद के देखो, मिल जाएगा कुछ ना कुछ. What precautions do you take against brain rot when you're researching for a report? It does get overwhelming. Greenium, I had a very major moment abhi last week where I started asking my friends that, guys, I think I'm starting to like this content now. And they were shook. They were like, what is happening? Please stop. Please stop. And I was like, yeah. So I just cut off. I was like, no, no. I just try to be very self-aware of how the content is affecting me. And it does affect me in very bizarre ways. Your recent two videos, very, very good. Thank you for informing us. You're welcome, Arjun. Loved your 21-year-old Meghnad story. Thank you, Harman. And there have been people who have been asking me to put it out as a separate video. no, I'm not going to, because I mean just watch the full video. Send people there with a time code. Share करो ना, वहाँ पे share पे एक आगे जाके थोड़ा time code आता है ना. I've given the chapter. Share it with that, and they see the video. And if they're curious, they watch the entire video. थोड़ी मेहनत करनी पड़ती है. अच्छी चीज़ें एंड में आई थी ना. Like the people who actually discovered it, did you realize how fulfilling that was? Did you expect that to happen? You didn't, did you? You didn't. You didn't. Like there is nothing that like prepared you for it. And then when it happened, you were like, what is this? What is happening? And then you were like, oh my god, comment, that's a great story, please put it as a short video. Nope. You sent people to the entire video. ट्राई करो यार, जाएंगे लोग, देखेंगे. Do you think, okay, Shavik, lots of comments. Do you think most of Beer Biceps audience don't take him seriously? They watch him because he brings popular guests, so it's unlikely they get hurt by you. I'm not trying to hurt anyone. That's not what I'm doing. But yes, a lot of people do watch him because he does get a lot of popular people. Sunny Leone was on his podcast, I think, recently. That's an audience by itself. There will be like a ton of Sunny Leone fans who'll just go watch him, whatever. Yeah, a lot of Munawar Farooqi, all sorts of. Veer Das went there, and a lot of people went there. I think Puneet did something with him recently. Puneet Pania. I was a little shook, and there is a thumbnail which is very bizarre. Let me just. Can I find this thumbnail now? It just showed up, and I was like, "What is this?" Yeah. Wait, let me show you. Okay. What is this? हिलाने में इतना मजा क्यों आता है? With this face. I have no words. I genuinely don't. Do you have words? That was a joke. He jokes about his podcast in his latest special. Oh, okay. Is he actually talking to Beer Biceps in this or no? Oh, no, he isn't. Oh, this is Puneet being nasty. Okay, got it. Someone, okay, I haven't seen this video. I just saw the thumbnail today before this live stream. So I was wondering, ये क्या हो रहा है? So thank you for clarifying. I was a little shocked. I'll probably watch that then. Oh, Puneet's was a satire on Ranveer. It was not Ranveer. No, the thing is, some people told me a few days ago that Puneet went on Beer Biceps or something on Twitter. I didn't check it. And then I saw this thumbnail and I was like, wait, is that true? Then it was on Puneet's channel. So I was like, ye kya ho raha hai? But I don't know the context. And I saw this. I was like, what is happening? And now you have clarified it. Thank you so much. That's what happened. It's clickbait. Yes, Dhananjay, I get that. It is clickbait. Chat has gone quiet from being speechless. Aman is asking, hello Aman, thank you so much for the super chat. I want to file a RTI, suggest some topics and questions. I highly recommend you watch. Can I show you? Yeah. Okay, there you go. Yeah. If you can see this. This episode I highly recommend you watch. It's an old episode. Oh my god, it's been 4 years? Oh, okay, that makes me uncomfortable. But anyway, please watch this episode. It's called Constitution, episode 12, Right to Information. before you decide what questions you need to ask, just understand what all you can ask, like how to ask it and why you are doing it. You can get a lot of things done with the Right to Information Act. Again, there's a caveat here. The new Data Protection Act does cut off a lot of things that the RTI is able to do, but still there can be workarounds. So please watch this episode. I think it will give you a lot of answers in general, because I mean, I don't think you should just randomly file questions using the RTI unless you're getting something out of it. Like, if you are actually getting an information that is usable from the government, don't file an RTI. I mean, or you're a journalist. If you're a journalist, sure, you will need a lot of information which you want to tell the public about. But other than that, just figure out why you want to really file the RTI in the first place, right? Just for the heck of it, I don't think it's that much of a useful thing. Instead, what I would tell you, oh guys, I think you need to check this out. It's a very very good thing now. I'm actually quite surprised. किधर गया रे? Business questions and answers. Yeah. Go to this part of sansad.in, Lok Sabha, right? So if you want to find out, and this is still a continuation of that question, which is I want to file an RTI. Aman, if you want to find out some information, this is actually a great place to find it. These are parliamentary questions which MPs are asking. And on a given day, you will get anywhere from 100 to 150 answers, not only in Lok Sabha, but also in the Rajya Sabha. So you can just, like do like search here, right? Like, what do you want to search? मनरेगा होगा क्या इसमें? नरेगा होगा फिर. Yeah, funds for Narega. So like someone has asked a question which is on 25th July, see, which is about 2 weeks ago. Yeah, 2 weeks ago. So yeah, someone has asked a question on Narega, funds for Narega, whatever it is, right? You will get a lot of these, and you can do like an advanced search here, and you can go back in time. You can actually go to different Lok Sabhas. You can look at members. You can do a lot of things here. So I highly recommend you try to explore this website if you want to get some more information. So yeah. Jenish, what is your view on the Delhi Ordinance Bill and speech of Amit Shah in the no confidence motion? Jenish, I already spoke about this earlier. Just go back. I think I did speak about this like briefly. And as I said, like you can watch like this video I did on the MCD elections. You'll get a lot of answers there. Bro, sorry to spam, but can you talk about how we are going to turn into US UK style two-party system where over time we end up with one far right and one center right party? I don't think that is a good idea for us, to be perfectly honest, sectum sempra. Because of, so you need to also understand that diversity is insane in India, and whenever you see political parties which are regional, and even smaller parties, they're usually formed based on like cultural nuances and language, religion, or customs or tribes. There are a bunch of those. So you can there are of course national parties which try to encompass all of it together, but at the same time India does give you an option to have like a smaller party with special interests, and you can actually appeal to a certain section of people to get like specific demands fulfilled. I feel like that is the best way for us to function right now, and I think in the future as well, because we are a very unique country in general. Just given our diversity, geography, languages, it just doesn't work if you just have two parties based on ideologies, right? Which is left party, right party. We don't have that. Like, I mean, it is a very, again, you want to compare it to US and UK where there are still clearly defined left and right, where the political spectrum is there, where there is a line. Of course, there's like an economic line and a social line, and you can go into complications of that. But a lot of things don't apply here, right? Which is, as I was saying earlier, our current right-wing party, which is the BJP, also does a lot of welfare, and they also proudly tell people about that welfare. So there is no clear right and left divide here. So it doesn't make sense for us to have parties based on that. What we need right now is for our cultural identities to be represented, for our basic nuances in our regions to be represented, our demands to be represented, and for that, smaller parties are required. Regional parties are required, and that is true for a lot of places in India. So think about it that way rather than on a national level. I feel like what we need is also a lot of decentralization and devolution. Um, a- I feel like the regional parties and the regional municipalities and even state governments need to have way more power than the center to make laws and implement laws. But yeah, that's another conversation. Any existing alternative to WikiLeaks, which journalists, whistleblowers currently use to dump their reports? Drumil, I'm not really aware of any one such dump. I haven't come across any, to be honest. Anurag is saying Nehru got 4 terms and Modi just got 2 terms as a PM, and now he's too much desperate to break that record. That's why BJP always defames Nehru. There are multiple reasons why I think, and if you look at it that way, like the BJP sure does raise a lot of problems with Nehru, etc. But it's also a very good deflection tactic, right? Again, people don't really read much nowadays. They'll just believe whatever, and it happened like 70 years ago, whatever. If you want to villainize like a Nehru, then his entire family gets villainized, no, as a result, who have like people right now. So it's a very very decent tactic politically to attack Nehru, कि उसको डिफेम करो तो उसके पूरे वंशज भी डिफेम हो जाएंगे, एंड देन इट विल बिकम इजी फॉर अस कि हाँ तुझे पता है तेरे दादाजी के दादाजी ने क्या किया था, तेरे को पता है क्या, उसके बारे में क्यों नहीं बात करते. सो when you're asking about Manipur, for example, when Rahul Gandhi spoke about Manipur, the no confidence motion today was about Manipur. To be honest, the opposition had to put in a no confidence motion because nobody was talking about Manipur. There is no response from the government about it. So when they did talk about it, did you see the responses that came from Smriti Irani? Kashmiri Pandit in the 90s, उसके बारे में बात हो रही है. Why? Why? Like, literally, why? And also, like, why aren't you then talking about like 2001 से 2023 के बीच में, sorry, 2021 or 2023 के बीच में, when the Kashmiri Pandits were being killed, those horrifying reports that came, multiple people were killed, Kashmiri Pandit families running away. There was a mass resigning that happened because people were disappointed. There were protests taken out by Kashmiri Pandits. उसके बारे में नहीं, 90s में जो हुआ था उसके बारे में बात करेंगे. Why? It's a very good diversionary deflection tactic, right? And the sooner you see it, the better off you are. It's as obvious as that. Like, I mean, if you want to talk about Nehru, if people often ask me, are you a Nehru fan? Do I need to be a Nehru fan? Why do I need to be a Nehru fan? Okay, I'll read stuff that he did. He did some good, he did some bad. Depending on the time that he was alive, he said some shitty things. People change, things change, times change. I don't need to be a fan of that. I will just read what he did and I will tell you about it. Maybe I will interpret it my way. I don't need to be a fan for that, right? It's just bizarre. Um, Promith is saying, love your analysis, especially the coverage on parliamentary sessions. How about a collab with Ravish Kumar? Oh my god, dude. मतलब समझा क्या है मुझे, मैं इतना बड़ा नहीं हूँ रे. Promith, I would love to be perfectly honest, but I think he has his own thing happening, which is doing very well. Very, very well. I'm so happy with how his channel is growing. I am a big fan. I really admire him for, taking this step, and it is paying off big time. I love it. I am so happy Ravish Kumar is on YouTube. That is, every time I think of it, I get I get very overwhelmed and excited about it because that is TV news dead. I'm waiting for TV news to die, and Ravish Kumar coming on YouTube was such a big sign for that. I just love it. Yeah, man, like just brought like his entire audience and more onto YouTube, doing it his own way. Bhojpuri mein tours de rahe, goes to New York and covers the writers' protest. Wonderful stuff. I mean, just nothing but admiration for him. एंड उस वो कंपैरिजन में हम बड़े छोटे हैं सर. दो वीडियो तो डाले अभी तक. Neo, I'm from Kerala. Communism here is like a religion. Majority, including we, were just fans. One of my friends used to think Shay was a Malayali freedom fighter. Okay. I have no context about this, Neo. That's good to know. I mean, I have I know now about West Bengal because I'm married into a family which is from Bengal, and वहाँ पे I didn't get this sense like because initially everybody और सब communist भरे हुए वहाँ पे. Not really, not really. I mean, it's complicated. But Kerala, I mean, of course, your lived experience versus my lived experience completely different, and someone else's lived experience also completely different. DJ PPB, I am a music producer and rap. Okay, and I want to write about politics, society, but writing about guns, flexing, and abusing people seems to pay well. Oh, okay. I do not understand this question, DJ PPB. CJS, got to learn a lot from you. Are you passionate? That's why doing such long session with only 164 people watching or hoping to create an organic engagement. Either way, big commitment. Yes, CJS, I think that is basically you've hit the nail there. I mean, it's basically that, right? I'm trying to create a community of just interesting people who would be interested in content that I put out and the stuff that I put out. Yeah, just building it up, man, building it up, trying. I, I like how brutal you are though. बस 160 लोग देख रहे हैं सर. इतना लंबा क्यों बैठे हो? मतलब why are you here for so long? 160 people are watching. I look at it this way. If I put these 160 people in one room, that's a large crowd, man. That's a large crowd that is watching. I want to like be humble. I'm very humble that way. Okay, I think there are a lot of repeated questions, and I think I need to go also. And as Sir CJS has pointed out, lamba ho gaya. But yeah, I will try to do these more, guys. I am planning to do some uh, interesting things on this channel. Please do let me know what you think in the comments. I have a few sort of questions for you. Um, oh, Chekur, thank you so much for the super chat. Very few YouTube channels are giving right information and asking questions to government. But why their majority of content is in English and not Hindi in order to reach maximum citizens? I will talk about myself. My Hindi is not very good. I cannot express the way I can in Hindi as I can in English. My thoughts are just better when I talk in English. That's the whole and sole reason why I do it, right? I do use Hindi sometimes from time to time, but I'm more comfortable in this language. That is the basic reason I have. I know a lot of people have given me advice in the comments again कि अरे सर हिंदी में करो ना बहुत audience बढ़ेगा reach बढ़ेगा. I don't want to. I think that I'm my best when I'm writing in English. That like as you see, it's scripted, and I feel like it flows better. So I'm just more comfortable there. So it's not about reaching a bigger audience really. It's more about building a community, I guess, of like-minded people who would be interested in watching something like this. And thank you for your support though, Jekur. Thank you very much. Uh, okay, guys, I have to go. But as I was saying, sorry, I got distracted by the super chat. I will come back. I will do more of these. I am planning to do a weekly sort of live stream like this. I'm not fixing a day right now. I'll just come in whenever. But at the same time, please let me know about two things. One is the background music. Are you okay with that? And in 1.5x and 2x in my videos, does that really become very jarring, or are you okay with that? And the second thing is the members only live stream that I'm trying to start probably next week. My idea for the members only live stream is that I will be working on these videos which are very long, and I will be going through the entire process, which is first research, scripting, editing, shooting, then editing. And I want to do members only live streams of me doing that. You know what I mean? Like where you can basically watch me while I'm doing my research, while I'm scripting. I can tell you some thoughts on it, etc. So it's like an added benefit, and if you can support me there, that would be great. So that is the plan, and those will be longer live streams, I'm thinking. So we can just chat like this, and also I'll be working at the same time as I chat with you. That is the idea there. I'm going to try it out probably next week. You will see a join button coming in soon on this channel. If you like that idea, do let me know. I would be happy to do it. And of course, these will also happen very often. So thank you so much for watching. And yes, I have answered many questions which are already asking. So go back and watch, including why did I leave News Laundry? Also about there was something about Delhi Bill. There is the NewsClick story, which are all coming in again and again. So please go back. You can watch the entire live stream. I have spoken about that. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye bye, friends. Bye bye.